All right. Well, it's hard to believe that we've come to our final panel of sport trade. I hope you found it as thought-provoking and sometimes inspiring, certainly enjoyable as I have. We'd like to thank everybody who took the stage, those of you in the audience, anybody who contributed to the debate over the last 48 hours, and we hope that you'll participate in a future sports event at Web Summit. That said, we're not done yet, so let's end this on a high. We'll get to the business of football. So, sport franchises and leagues are one of the very few instances where those running the company are not seen necessarily as the most important people in the company. So, does that make that more difficult or easier for those making the high-level decisions to make an impact? To discuss that, would you welcome Ken Early of the Irish Times, along with Bruno de Carvalho of Sporting Club de Portugal. Come on up, guys.
Bruno, you're very welcome.
Thank you very
The
much.
crowd has turned out to see, and it's kind of the question that every talk here has been about today, whatever they were meant to be about originally. And I do have to ask you, as one president to another, what do you think of the election of Donald Trump?
I was seeing during the night, that is true. I had the curiosity to understand what is going to happen. I think it's normal. I don't see any kind of problem. I think that there was an actor. There is another one now. So
that is a wrestling guy.
I don't think there is a problem for sports or for Portugal. So for me, it's good. I'm not from America, so I don't have anything about it. For me, it's equal, and I don't understand the issue about it. He won. So long live the king.
Okay.
I don't care. For me, it's equal.
So you made a message of calm. Everyone needs to...
No, I don't. I think that everybody is very afraid of everything in life, and we need to be very calm.
Okay.
If people see the speech that he made, the speech was 100% the opposite of what he said in all the pre-election, so in the campaign. So it's going to be like this.
He went from lock her up to a great opponent.
Yes. So everybody said very nice speech, very nice guy. So everybody's happy. The markets are happy.
Yeah, well, that's
so
good. At least they're happy. It does show, I guess, that things are changing. The media is changing. Politics are changing in ways which are difficult to understand. It's also, this technological change affects football as well. This is the thing I guess we're going to talk about. If football is a branch of the entertainment industry, it has been for the last couple of decades, making its money from pay TV. For instance, your club, Sporting, has got a 10-year TV deal, 446 million euros. Benfica have a similar arrangement. Clubs across Portugal have this. Why, I wonder, did your club and the other Portuguese clubs sign such long-term television deals? Why did you go for 10-year deals?
First, let me tell you that because it is important for us to understand the market. And the market sometimes tell you what to do. And the question it was, we were very calm seeing what is going on, and first Benfica made his deal, then Porto made his deal, so the numbers were in the table. It was a 10-year deal. There was nothing to do about it. The only thing it was, how much money can we make in that 10 years contract? Because if you tell me that we could all do last year's contracts, I think yes, but you can't go against the market. If the market makes the deals and the basis it is 10 years, you cannot do nothing different, and you need to go and fight for what you think that your club is worth, And I think Sporting did a very good job in that kind. And
the question would arise, given the way in which there's been such inflation in football over the last 10 or 15 years, were you not concerned that by signing a 10-year deal, it may look good now, 45 million euros a year is a good price now, but in 10 years, it might look cheap?
it's true. Everything is changing very quickly. As I told you, we need to go with the market, and the market in this time told us we needed to make a 10 years contract. But I agree with you. Everything is changing very fast. Everything in the industry of entertainment is changing very fast. I think football it's having its own issues with that changing, but the deal is done. It was what it was in the table. Let's see what is going to happen.
Yeah.
Let's see what is going to be the changings. But I think that a lot will change in football.
Yeah. When you say the game is having issues, what sort of issues do you mean?
Look, I think that first, football it is an entertainment activity, as you understand, and I think sometimes we look to football, and because we have billions of fans, we don't understand very much what is surrounding football. And for me, it's very. I stay very nervous when I see that there are studies that the fans are going out from football, that the subscribers of pay TV are going out from the subscriptions that they have.
Yeah.
You had the major company in America losing in 1 month 600,000 payers.
ESPN.
So I think that we need to look and we need to understand what is the issues. I think that we need to understand the game and why people is changing their needs to be in the games or not be in the games, to see in the TV or not. Second, I think it is very important for us to see what is the values. I speak a lot of time of this. What is the values that football pass to people? And I don't think they are very good now. And I think that we need to all think a little bit and see and put together what is happening and why it is happening. Okay, you can speak to me about the young kids go to Instagram, Snapchat, PlayStation, Xbox, whatever you want. But the main question is that the only problem regarding sports and regarding football? I don't think so. I think that people are starting to want something to change in football.
So when you say the values are bad, can you give me an example of what you mean? I mean, what's the problem you're referring to there?
Look, one day I was speaking about someone very important in football, someone that had a lot of power, and I said, I think there is an issue of a lack of values in football. Football needs to give people values as dignity, as doing every time better, being better, team players, everything that is social good. The question is, he told me, but look, President, tell me where is the other place, not in football, that you have a black kid looking to a blonde guy and saying, this is my idol, or the opposite, a blonde kid looking to a black guy and say, this is my idol. I said, okay, that is very good.
Yeah.
That is very philosophical.
Yeah.
Everybody is going to cry a lot with that image, but the problem is they are looking not to the guy, but look, this guy has a lot of money, a lot of cars, a lot of women, and he didn't study. So I don't think this is the values that we need to pass to people.
Yeah.
We don't. I went to football. I have 2 daughters.
Yeah.
For me, it's very strange to be in football, and every time I only hear about corruption, and we go to football because we want to be known, and we want to be famous, and we are all bad people, and I look to people and they are not worried about, and I'm worried. I go home, see my daughters, and I don't like them to think that his father is in a way of something very strange, very corrupt, with problems, illegal gambling, with corruption, and I stay mad with that, but I don't see no one very, very, very worried about it. And this is I think, one of the main questions, that we are losing fans, we are losing subscription people. And another issue that I need to tell you, I was a fan of English football in the 80s. For me, it was very good to see the football, because you will go see Blackburn went from second division and be champion. Everton coming from second division to be champion. Now, okay, Leicester, it was something very different, but now, if I tell you, I put in a paper 2-3 names, for sure, one of them is going to be champion. So you don't have more that kind of issue, and the issue and the most important thing is you go to a game and you don't know what is going to happen. And now everything, there is a lot of money in English football, there is a lot of money everywhere, but every time the sames are winning. And it's very strange, because we are making such a development of football. Why every time the sames are winning? Why everything change?
Well, I mean, you could say that in the 80s in Liverpool, or the 80s in England, Liverpool would win all the time. It was quite a similar. You always have these dominant teams. And also, you've always had this issue, the issue that you're talking about, star players have got a lot of money, have got a celebrity lifestyle. That's kind of always been the case. So why would it suddenly now be a problem that causes the TV audiences to go down and the subscriber numbers to go down? I wonder if is there something else happening? You mentioned Instagram and social media in general as one thing, gaming, all of these sort of technological diversions which are available now, which were never available before. So football was like the dominant entertainment. It was kind of the only thing you could do. If you're a kid, you could run around with a ball. That was what you do. And now,
it is true.
Now there's a million things.
It's what I was trying to say. The question is, the first time football has something that is running against, like it is now, the games, the social media, is losing. So we cannot, every time in life, take nothing for granted. And I think football takes everything for granted. We are very important. We are very big. Everybody loves this. But the world is changing. And we need to be prepared. And if the subject that we spoke about the teams, about the idols, it was very good, but now we need to understand how we are going to face the things, how we are going to change the way of the people thinking and bring back people from the social media to football.
Do you have any ideas?
Look, for me, I think it is very important, the process that we are passing. When I arrived to football almost 4 years ago, I start speaking all over the world about new technologies, for example. And I think that the introduction of new technologies in football, it's going to be very interesting for people to be again connected to the sport. We have a lot of things that we can do to make engagement with the fans, and we need to do it different. We need to use the social media that the kids are there for them to follow us, for them to see a new reality, and we need to go over the stadium, and we need to go to them in their house, giving them opportunities to have entertainment, not only in the game day. So we have now a long path that we can only cross the day we think that football needs to be very well organized, and it needs to change something, not to be in a process of losing so many people for the other things that are growing and very fast. And I see with my child, they are growing very fast, and football needs to do something, because today we are billions, but one day maybe we will see, and we lost our place.
Yeah.
That is going to be very bad, because we cannot only do some little things. This needs to be something global, general. We need to think about football in a general way, and making connections with the society and with the new generations. And I don't think we are doing that.
In terms of the distribution, how people watch the game, obviously people have been watching on TV, and for the immediate future of Sporting and other clubs and most of the leagues is with television. But if the TV companies are going to be losing subscribers the way that ESPN has, and if that's going to be a trend, do we need to think of other ways of distributing it? What I mean essentially is broadcasting on the internet, like Spotify for music,
Yep.
where people pay a certain monthly fee or whatever, and then they have access to all of these games. I mean, is that the sort of thing that you think has a future?
First, I need to tell you, if they continue to lose subscriptions, we have a question.
Yeah.
Very good. We made a very good business in making 10 years. So,
Yeah, that's good.
see,
Yeah,
maybe it
as long
was
as-
very good
Yeah,
if we made 10 years.
That must have been what you were thinking.
Look,
yeah.
yes, of course that we need to look to live streaming. You have a problem that it is the illegal links that you can have. Football needs to see what he can do, how he can do it, but he needs to go to other platforms. He needs to be organized in some other way, because it is very important for football to, as I told you, to go with the evolution and to follow a path. But it is a very dangerous path. I need to tell you that you go to some platforms, but as you know, 90% of the people go to internet and see things for free.
Yeah.
Because there is a lot of illegal sites. You shut down 10, it opens 1,000. You shut down 1,000, it opens a million. So it is a path very, 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 very hard. But that football needs to deal, and because of that, I think that the solution is not so easy as open the football for live streamings and to be in old platforms like a Netflix deal, that you can only see that specific game, or something like you only see that player because it's that player that you like to see. Of course, we need to go to all that, but I don't think that is going to solve everything. And in the end of the day, the question is, are the clubs going to survive or not? And I'm very afraid that I see a lot of clubs dying, a lot of clubs without money. And when you speak about an industry that is making something like 25 billion a year, how it is possible that the main core, that is clubs, are dying and without money? So I think everything is upside down, and we need to start to think this all together. But of course, we need to be open for other platforms. I don't know if this is going to save the heart of the football, and the heart is clubs. Every time we speak about coaches and players and presidents, but the heart, it is the clubs, and the heart is dying. That is very bad.
Portugal is a great football country. It's the European champion. It's got 10, 11 million people. It includes the most famous player in the world, maybe the most famous manager in the world. And one way that Portuguese football has always made money is by exporting talent, selling players abroad. It's been a huge earner for Portuguese football. Do you get the impression that the supply of talent in this country is as strong as it has been?
I think that everybody understood that Portugal has amazing players. That is true, and we can see in the market that people are looking very well to the players that we made here in Portugal. And I need to tell you that for me it is proud to have 10 players made in Sporting in the last European final because they were playing all the game 14 players, 10 were made in Sporting. So I think the Portuguese clubs have that facility. We produce talent and talent that puts the best in the world. Figo, Ronaldo, we have a lot of very big players. And that is something that is very important for Portuguese clubs. That is very important for the Portugal national teams. And I think that it's one of the most important things that the Portuguese clubs need to continue to do, which is to put all their bets in these youth and the development of their young players. That is very, very important for the survival of the football in Portugal.
I guess in addition to the most famous player and the most famous manager, Portugal also has the most famous agent in the world, Mr. Jorge Mendes, who, from a foreign perspective, seems to control a huge chunk of the, the transfers coming in and out of Portugal. It's not only Jorge Mendes, this issue of third-party ownership, which I know that you've spoken about before. For instance, when you sold Marcus Rojo to Manchester United 2 years ago, there was a dispute. There was a bit of a row with the people who claimed to own 75% of his.
There is still.
There is still.
Bayern, yes. We are still in the court. Yes.
Yeah, you haven't paid them yet.
I don't think that I need to pay them, but the court will decide.
Well, can you explain why? Because you've described third-party ownership, where a player's rights are controlled not entirely by the club that he plays for. You've described this as a monster that's living in other clubs. A monster. It's an emotional word. Why is third-party ownership such a serious problem?
I think that people need to understand, and I think it is a very good issue. First, I need to give you the example of Sporting. The last 2 years before I went to the club, the managers of the club used a lot of funds and third-party ownership. And we lost in 2 years 100 million. I went to Sporting. I said, I don't want more to work with funds. And every time we win money. And the only time we lose, it was for 2 weeks this season because we wanted to wait to make the sales that we made higher, that only to have a profit 2 weeks before. So we are the example that the clubs don't need that kind of solution. I don't say that the clubs don't need to find financial partners. Of course we need to find financial partners. If the banks are not being the financial partners that we need to find financial partners. But financial partners are not owners. Owners of the club, almost owners of the club. I cannot have people saying to me what I need to do because they have something, some part of the player. They can't. This is against the rules, and it is against all the way that I see the management of things. And the problem with funds, and now with football leagues, we can see the contracts. It is okay. You can renew with the player, but if we don't say yes, you need to pay us 5 million. Okay, you can sell the player, but if you don't have our agreement, you need to pay us 5 million. Yes, you can. This is nothing. And the most problem is I don't see how the funds went to football and make football better. Why? They told me, no, they put the lower teams going more competitive with the higher teams. But the question is, the lower teams can use funds, but the higher teams can use funds. So how you are going to be more close? You are not. They are every time in the same position, but the clubs that are smaller started to go bankrupt. And that is very dangerous. One time, it's like an addiction. It's an easy solution. You don't need to think. You go to someone that has the money. You don't need to work and do nothing. Okay, please, I have the money for you. How much do you need? 2 million? Okay, now you buy the player. You buy the player. In the end of the season, because you spend the money, because you have to pay the wages, you have all the risk. Sometimes you have to pay fees to the funds. You need more money. And you go to the funds and say, okay, I lost 10 million, please give me 10 million. Yeah. Okay, I give you 10 million. And the other year, you need 20. And the other year, you need 30.
So then
and that's what happened. Everybody said when the funds go out from football, football is going to die. I don't see nobody dying. So the question is, we need to find solutions to get financial partners to football. And there is very good financial partners that are willing to go to football, that are willing to come to help and be real partners. Win-win, a lost-lost situation. You cannot have a partnership where only a part every time wins. This is nothing. And that is why the clubs are in the position that everybody's selling the clubs. If they don't sell, the clubs are shutting down. Then you sell the club, and you have a color, you have your logo, you have your heart, and comes an owner and change everything. And now it's not a dog, it is a sheep. Now it's not. This is crazy. We need to stop a little bit, go back to the basics, and understand we need to find solutions. But we cannot bring something very strange as people that you don't know the faces, you don't know who they are. I don't know if you know that, for example, about betting, we are speaking about something like 2-3 billion a year.
Gambling.
No, 2-3 trillion a year. 80% of that, it is illegal. 80% it is illegal.
Right.
Only saw by the authorities, 140 millions were money laundering.
Yeah.
So is this what we want in football? I like to know the faces. I like to know who are my partners. Yeah. I like to be in a win-win, loss-loss situation. Let's go together. Let's win money or let's lose money. But I know who you are. I know if I want to be partner with you because my club has values, my club has principles, my club has 110 years of history. Maybe if I know who you are, I don't want to be connected with you.
Okay.
But you only know that money comes from Malta, or from Liechtenstein, or from something. This for me is nothing. I like to understand who I'm dealing, and I don't like someone strange to come to my club and give me orders and say to me what I need to do. And for sure, I don't like to lose in 2 years 100 million.
Yeah, absolutely. No, how do you explain the success to such a huge international extent of George Mendes?
Of course it is because he has very good connections and it's because he's good at what he's doing. If you see almost all the big deals are made by him, but I don't know. I made very good deals now in this market, and it was not with Jorge Mendes. So, but for sure he has something that the clubs like, and he has the knowledge to do the business. How they are the business, I don't know, and I don't care. This is a question of, for me, a good business. It is a business that brings cash to the club. I prefer to sell a player for 10 million and receive 10 million if possible, or 9 million and a half, than to sell for 100 million and receive 1 million.
Yeah,
I don't like that kind of way. So I prefer like this, but I understand it needs to be good. He was considered the best, so he needs to be good, and for sure he has so very good connection with so many clubs that he needs to have something that they like, for sure.
Well, tell me about one of the deals you did then with the manager of Sporting. You've got George Jesus, who's a hugely respected coach, and was one of the most successful coaches in the history of Benfica, and is now the manager of Sporting. I mean, it's an incredible thing. I don't know if people follow Portuguese football closely. It's like Arsene Wenger, joins Tottenham. It's just a crazy move for a coach to make, and quite a spectacular deal to pull off. So I wondered how you managed to do it. How did you? What was the first phone call to George Jesus about
I
that?
need to tell you one thing. I believe a lot in two things in life. First, it is to have goals. And I don't think that people care enough about this. We need to have goals.
Yeah.
And we need to think about the goals we have. And we need to define paths, ways to do it. And we cannot do only by heart and only by feeling and only by opportunities. We need to know very good what we want, how we want it, and where is the place that we want it to be and when. The second, it is work. If you want to be good in something, if you have some passion for something, you need to work. You cannot be worried if your week it is, or day it is 6 hours of work or 8 hours of work. You need to work. When you put this together, there is nothing it is impossible. Because you put your goals and your ideas and your path in movement and you work. That was the way to bring George to Sporting.
Goals and hard work.
I know what I want for Sporting.
Yeah.
I know the path that I want to make.
Yeah.
I know what is the value of George. Everything was in the right process. Benfica didn't want the coach. They lost 2 days of thinking. I worked 24 hours. I didn't lose time. So George now is in Sporting. You cannot sleep in this business.
Yeah.
Every time you sleep, something very, very important is happening. Sometimes it's are good, sometimes are bad. For Sporting was very, very good.
Did you have to convince your directors, other people at the club, Benfica was a good idea?
We are very united as a board. In of George, nobody the right person to be in front of the team. So there was nothing to about it. And people say that I'm very, very good because I took the coach from Benfica. I don't care if the coach is from Benfica or not from Benfica. I want the best.
He's hugely
The
successful.
question it is, he is good. So for me, that is what it matters, not is from Benfica or not.
He got to the Europa League final. I think it lost to Chelsea in 2013
And Sevilla.
or whatever. You know, he has a track record that proves that at a European level he can succeed with a Portuguese club. So what's the ambition for Sporting now? Do you think it's possible for you to win a European trophy in the next couple of years?
Look, what I told it was, this is my first mandate. It's going to end in March, and let's see what is going to happen. There is going to be elections.
Yeah.
We will see. What I want to do in my second mandate, if I will continue, if I win the elections, I want to win a European competition. I think that Sporting is in a path that can win. Don't ask me about Champions League, because I think that I need some more mandates for that. But
when you do win, will you throw the medal into the crowd like Bruno?
The question is, maybe one day something can happen. We are preparing the club for that. But let's go step by step. First, let's be the biggest club in Portugal, and we have a path to do it. We need to continue to work. We need to work harder and harder, because we had a very big gap to the other two teams in Portugal, Porto and Benfica. then we need to start to look to European competitions in a level of Europa League. And then let's see what we can do about Champions League. But you know that it's very hard to compete with someone that has 600 million, with someone that has 80 million. But I don't think that that is the only issue. I think that there is a lot of factors.
Yeah.
And let's see in the future. What I don't like, and it's very important, and I need to say this, what I don't like, it is to see the Portuguese teams every time with problems about mistakes with referees when we go against teams from some countries. I don't like that.
You think that happens? Which countries?
Of course it happens.
Yeah.
We see every time happens something with the Portuguese teams, and that is not good. And I think that federation and our league needs to speak about it. We don't need to be afraid.
Okay.
We are a very important country for football. We provide the best players to the world. We are now European champions, not only in the main team, but under 17. And we need to say one time, stop. Okay, I understand Spanish league is very good. English league is very good. The German league is very good. But in the end, it is the model, it is fair play and respect. So it is the only thing I ask for Portuguese team. It is fair play and respect.
Well, we're pretty much out of time, Bruno, but it just occurs to me to ask because it only happened a couple of days ago that Cristiano Ronaldo signed a 5-year contract with Real Madrid. He is a Sporting Club de Portugal man. This is the club where he came from. Do you see him coming back? Were you disappointed to see him signing up with Madrid? Did you think maybe Cristiano might come home?
It was the end of the history that everybody expected. The thing I say it is he's going to play for a lot of years, and I believe that he cannot say the opposite. Of course, he's a professional. He's very happy in Real Madrid, but I believe in the end of his career he can come. But the end of a career for a professional as Ronaldo is, it's not the usual 35, 37, 38. He's going to be very good.
Okay.
Very good at 41, 42. He told that he wanted to end at 41. Let's see if he's going to end at that time or more further, because he takes care of him very good. He's very professional, very athletic. Let's see. But I believe it can happen. For Sporting, it was very good if he was sold, because we are going to receive money.
Yeah.
But he's happy, and if he's happy, I'm happy also.
Okay, well, Bruno de Carvalho of Sporting Club de Portugal, thanks for coming on. It's great talking to you today.
Thank you very much.